Hello mga students. In the first 3 video lectures on Chapter 4 under the revenue cycle, pinag-usapan natin yung sales order processing and then followed by the sales return processing and then the last is the cash receipts processing. For this video lecture naman, let's wrap up all the relevant accounting records under this revenue cycle. Because remember meron tayong isang discussion on chapter, I forget the exact chapter but we dealt with accounting records. Yung mga documents, it can either be a source document, a product document, a turnover document, a turnaround document, or the journals and the ledgers. So yun po ang pag-uusapan natin dito, ano-ano ba yung mga records na yon. Although na daanan na rin po natin ito when we discuss the 3 different subsystems nitong revenue cycle, but to give emphasis dun sa mga records na yon at para for your memory retention. So pag-usapan natin muna under the sales order processing, yung mga accounting records. So dito po ninyo makikita sa kanan hindi ko lang alam kung nakikita, nababasa po ninyo ito, pero babasahin ko kung medyo maliit kung hindi po ninyo ito nakikita or malabo yung inyong paningin. Okay? The first one is your customer order. Ang customer order, hindi po ito standard ng company. It is a non-standard document na initiated by the client or our customer. Now, our customer may either be an individual or a company, na umu-order din sa atin for their, kung ano man yung kanilang nature of operations. Pag direct, now, ito pala, because the customer order may or may not be a physical document. It may simply be a request from the customer. Usually, pag mga individuals ito, they are requesting to order, mga pre-order, sabihin na natin na ganun. So, it may not be a physical document. Pero for companies, usually meron silang purchase order from their end. At ito yung kanilang standard template. Pagdating po nito sa atin, we have to convert it, we have to transcribe it into a general format. Dito po pumapasok yung tinatawag natin na sales order. Ito po yung formal document na pine-prepare ng company para ma-process yung customer order. Para pare-parehas, similar templates. Hindi yung magkakaiba because we are getting different types of customer orders from various clients. So, sales order po yung formal document na prepared by the company. Okay. Next, we also have here your customer open order file. Ang customer open order file, ito ay isang monitoring file monitoring sheet for open customers order, okay, or customers open orders. At kapag meron ng updates, let's say delivered na ito, so nagkakaroon tayo ng update sa status. Okay, kung ano na po ang status nitong ating customer order. Kung mga naka-back order siya or partially delivered, ayan, we have to update this one. Okay? Ito po ang itsura ng sales order for your reference. Makikita po ninyo dito, although nakalagay po credit sales invoice. Usually kasi yung sales order at saka sales invoice magkaparehas po yan initially created yung sales order, tapos later on nagkakaroon ng mga additional items, additional info, let's say for the tax, yung mga freight charges, dinadagdag po yan at yun na yung nagiging sales invoice or which is your customer bill. Pero ito po normally makikita po ninyo sa sales order. Of course, kanino natin ito ibebenta kung tayo yung seller. Ito yung ating customer. Tapos kung meron niyang customer purchase order, nakalagay dito yung reference ng customer purchase order. Okay? Ito yung top part kasi para mas malinaw at makikita ninyo, hinati ko na lang, in-slice ko siya sa gitna. So ito, contact details natin, kanino ibinenta at kung merong purchase order yan, dito yan, ito yung detalye. Now, dito sa kanan, dito naman po ninyo makikita yung units, yung items na in-order sa atin. How many, yung quantity ordered, ano yung product number, yung mga product specifications, ano yung description ng in-order, quantity shipped. Okay, kapag na-ship na ito, lahat ba yan? Kung merong 10 orders, 10 ba yung na-ship? Magkano yung unit price and then the total. Makikita din po ninyo dito yung total sales, the customer account number, ito yung reference natin sa ating customer account, kung ano yung reference nitong ating client. Okay? And the verification. Okay? So that is your sales order. Now, as an additional info, it captures information that are vital such as the customer's name, yung address, yung account number, the name, number, and description of items sold, and the quantities and unit prices of each item sold. Kagaya po ng pinakita ko po sa inyo. Now, at this point, financial information such as taxes, discounts, freight charges may or may not be included. Okay? Later on, pag nadagdag na po ito na yung customer bill natin. It was updated na. Okay? Additional, under the sales order processing, we have the picking ticket or what we call also the stock release document. Ito yung nag-initiate para to-pick up sa warehouse. Ano ba yung in-order ni client or ni customer? It identifies inventory items that must be located and picked from the warehouse shelves. Lalong-lalo na kung masyadong malaki yung warehouse mo. And for formality, ito po ang kailangan ni customer, ito yung kanilang binibili, we have to pick it up from our warehouse. Now, we also have the back order record, and this record is for pending orders na hindi ma-provide kasi kulang yung ating inventories. Okay? It stays on file until the inventories arrive from the supplier. Okay? So, naka-back order siya. Naka-hold yan. Hindi natin ma-provide yung orders kasi kulang pa. Hold mo na yan. Yan yung back order record natin. Now, we also have the stock records. Yung stock records, ito po ay ginagamit for warehouse management purposes. At hindi po ito yung formal accounting records for inventory control. So, itong stock records, naka-identify dito, ilan yung mga stocks natin sa inventory sa warehouse. But that is not necessarily what is being recorded in our accounting. So, for purposes of warehouse management lang. Okay? So, that is your stock record. Now, meron din tayong tinatawag na packing slip, shipping notice, and bill of lading. Ito yung kapag i-deliver na, isi-ship na yung order. Yung packing slip, it travels with the goods. Papunta sa customer para ma-describe ano yung content ng order. Okay? Packing slip describes the contents of the order. Kasi lalo na pag mga malaking orders yan, di ba? Mga naka-box pa yan. So we have the packing slip. We also have the shipping notice. Yung shipping notice, ito yung fini-forward sa billing function or equivalent function sa organization para mag-initiate ng additional process. It serves as the evidence na yung customer order ay na-filled na at saka na-ipadala na po. Okay? The shipping document is, it's a notice. Okay? Shipping notice, it is a document na nagsasabi na, okay, na-ship na po natin ito. Now, yung bill of lading naman, ito ay isang formal na kontrata between the seller and the logistics company or the shipping company. It is not a contract between the seller and the buyer or the buyer and the shipping company, but between the shipping company and the seller. Kasi syempre meron tayong third party, yung magdi-distribute, magpapadala. Let's say si To Go or si LBC at iba pang mga shipping companies. So, ito lamang po, once again, the bill of lading, a contract, a formal contract between the seller and the shipping company para i-transport yung goods doon sa customer. Para ipadala yung orders. Okay? Ito po yung example ng bill of lading na available sa ating reference book. So dito makikita po ninyo, of course, the reference number, the document number, shipper number, carrier number, date of shipment. Okay? Kanino ito ipapadala? Ito yung ating customer. Okay? Dito naka-identify yung ruta, yung vehicle. Okay? Number of shipping units, kind of packaging, description of articles, lalong-lalo na pag malakihang shipments. Tapos sa babang portion, charges naman. At saka iba pang mga details. freight charges, with recourse ba or without recourse, no? Tapos mga pirma. Okay? So dito po natin makikita. Okay, ito po yung bill of lading. As an additional info, kasi nabanggit na natin itong unang statement here. Pero this document establishes legal ownership and responsibility for assets in transit. Especially kapag ina-apply na natin yung mga shipping terms. FOB destination, FOB shipping point, no? Sino ba yung kakarga or sasagot ng shipment, ng shipping fee? Yung seller ba yung magbabayad? Yung buyer ba? So FOB destination, FOB shipping point, freight, ano yung freight charges natin dyan? Okay, please take note of that one. Yan po yung ating bill of lading. Additional pa po sales order processing. Ito naman, we have the SO pending file or the sales order pending file. It is simply a list of pending orders awaiting receipt of the shipping notice. Okay, kasi kapag na-receive na yung order, merong sales order na invoice copy. Okay, tapos i-reconcile yan doon sa shipping notice. Pag na-process na yung order, na ipadala na yung shipping order, yung shipping notice, mapupunta sa billing function at i-reconcile natin ito doon sa sales order. Okay, so until such time na wala pa yung shipping notice, andun pa po yan sa SO pending file. Ibig sabihin, hindi pa po na po-process yung sales order. Okay? O yung sales invoice or the customer bill, parang sales order lang yan, yung itsura niya parehas lang pero it includes the unit prices, taxes, and freight charges. Okay, minsan kasi sa sales order, hindi pa po yan given. We also have the sales journal. O yung sales journal, alam po ninyo ito na, di ba? It is a special journal used for recording sales on account transactions. On the assumption that yung sales order processing or sales on account kasi later on we have the cash receipt system, di ba? Or cash receipts process. We also have the sales journal voucher. Etong sales journal voucher is on the premise that we are using a voucher system. At yung sales journal voucher, it is simply a summary of your sales journal entries. For every transaction, may entry yan sa sales journal. Yung sales journal voucher summarizes those sales, no? For a particular period in time, ito yung ating debit accounts receivable credit sales. Pero total na yan. Okay, that is your sales journal voucher. In general, yung ating journal voucher, for manual processing po ito, each voucher represents a general journal entry and indicates the general ledger accounts affected. Okay? Yung journal voucher file naman po, under a journal voucher system, ito yung nagre-replace for the need for a formal general journal. Okay, medyo mahirap po itong i-visualize, lalong-lalo na pag hindi naman natin ito na-encounter pa, wala pa tayong practice. Pero mas maintindihan po ninyo ito kapag nagtrabaho na po kayo at nasa accounting department kayo. But for for appreciation, you can Google, you can check kung may mga available po na mga images for journal vouchers, for journal voucher file, para mas ma-appreciate po ninyo ito. Yung nilalagay ko lang po kasi dito sa atin is yung mga available na nasa reference book natin, which is si James Hall. Pero hindi ko na nagawa na mag-search ng additional documents sa online para maipakita ko sa inyo anong itsura ng iba pa na mga wala doon kay James Hall, Okay? Inventory subledger or subsidiary ledger and accounts receivable subsidiary ledger. Dapat hindi na po ito bago sa inyo, For inventory subsidiary ledger, it updates the information contained from the stock release document. So pag na-release na from the warehouse, ma-notify yung inventory control na nabawas. Okay? So sa inventory subsidiary ledger, mababawasan po yung ating inventories, Yung accounts receivable subsidiary ledger naman, mga customer records po ito na updated from the information contained in the sales order. Okay? At kapag na-notify na, kasi meron na tayong shipping notice, napadala na po ito sa ating customer, then that is the time na yung accounts receivable subsidiary ledger mo ay ma-update para ma-record na may utang sa atin ito si customer na ito. Okay? So yun po yung mga additional accounting records. Ito po yung journal voucher. Makikita po ninyo, no? We have the journal voucher number, date, no? Date of processing this journal voucher. O, makikita po ninyo dito, isa lang yung entry niyan. Debit accounts receivable and credit sales, and then the explanation. We have the approver and then the posted by. Magkakaiba po yan ano, in actual practice. Maaring prepared by, approved by, posted by, at may mga additional na info pa. Okay, nakadepende sa setup ng company. Pero usually yan, mga naka-voucher system po tayo. O, eto naman yung makikita po ninyo for the inventory subsidiary ledger. Ano? Item description. Anong klaseng inventory yan? Kailan na-release or na-sold, no? Nabenta yung ating inventory. Magkano pa yung available on hand, no? Tapos, makikita ninyo dito may reorder point, may economic order quantity. Okay? Later on, pag-usapan natin, ipakita ko po ito sa inyo pagdating natin doon sa discussion on this one. Kasi meron, although ito ay part ng cost accounting and control, no, pero meron din itong discussion later on, no? Explain ko po ito doon sa conversion cycle. Okay? We also have the accounts receivable subsidiary ledger. Dito naman makikita ninyo, petsa ng transaction, explanation, invoice number para sa reference, no? Payment, debit credit, ano yung debit natin dito? Okay? Ano yung credit natin? Pag sales, of course, sa ating accounts receivable subsidiary ledger, magde-debit tayo ng AR. Pag meron ng collection ng account, i-credit natin yan. Kaya meron tayong debit credit. It not necessarily ano yung entry natin dito, ano, pero pag may entry tayo dito sa debit, ibig sabihin may sales on account. Pag may entry tayo dito sa credit, may collection on account. Kaya dito, yung account balance from 600, dahil nabayaran na yan, zero na siya. Eto nakalagay din dito, magkano yung credit limit. Kasi dapat, kung ano yung credit limit, yun yung maximum na customer account balance. No? So dito makikita din ninyo, no? Available credit 400. Nung nabayaran na re-establish na ulit yung full amount ng credit limit, 1,000 na po ulit siya. Okay? So yun po ano, yung mga ating additional ano no, records, okay, visualization ng mga accounting records natin sa sales order document processing. Dito naman po tayo sa sales return procedures. Okay? We have the sales the return slip, the credit memo, the inventory subledger, and then the AR subledger. Yung return slip, this is simply a document prepared by the receiving department to describe the returned items. Pag na-notify from the receiving area na merong bumalik, prepare po tayo ng return slip. If-forward ito sa mga affected departments, no? Halimbawa, doon sa billing function or sa sales function or sa credit function, ano? Magpe-prepare ng credit memo, which is an authorization for the customer para ma-revert back yung credit, no? For the merchandise na bumalik, para ma-establish yung ating credit limits ng customer at matanggal yung utang, no? Of course, yung inventory subsidiary ledger at saka yung ating accounts receivable subsidiary ledger, same lang po ito ano na ledgers na ipinakita ko na at in-explain ko na kanina ano. Why? Bakit affected dito sa sales return? Kasi pag may bumalik, we debit the inventory, we credit the cost of goods sold. So mababalik yung inventory, no? Sa accounts receivable, syempre, magde-debit tayo ng sales return, magki-credit tayo ng accounts receivable. So mawawala yung utang kasi na i-sales return. Okay? So same document po ito sa sales order processing system. Okay? Ito yung itsura ng credit memo. Makikita ninyo ano yung reference na sales invoice nung i-credit natin. Okay, received from, sino yung customer na yon, yung address, di ba? Reason for return, bakit ito ibinabalik? Di ba? Remember, we have the following reasons. Maaring defective yung product, no? Nasira siya during shipment or masyadong delayed, no? Please go back doon sa video lecture na in-explain ko ano under the sales return processing for different reasons. Tapos, naka-identify dito, kagaya ng makikita natin sa sales order or sa sales invoice. Yung product description, the product number. Dito, quantity return. Ilan yung bumalik? Lahat ba bumalik or portion lang? Magkano yung unit price and then the total credit? Tapos, ina-approvehan ito no, bago ito i-process yung reversal. Okay? That's it for the sales returns, no? Dito naman tayo sa cash receipts procedure. Sa cash receipts procedure, meron tayong remittance advice, remittance list, and then the deposit slip. Yung remittance list po, it contains information needed to service individual customer accounts. No, remember that this may be the second part, no, ng ating customer bill kasi may perforated part, di ba? Na ibabalik. Nung ipinadala natin yung bill sa ating customer, kasama na doon yung remittance advice, ibabalik kasama ng check. Okay? So we have the check and then the remittance advice. Hindi ko lang nailagay yata dito yung check, but that is another source document. The check, check nakakita na ba kayo niyan? Kung hindi pa, search po ninyo online para makita ninyo ano yung itsura. Okay? Pero dapat familiar din po kayo dyan. We also have the remittance list. Yung remittance list or yung tinatawag natin na cash free list, it is a form that lists down all the checks received. Ano-ano ba yung mga natanggap natin na check ngayon for deposit na rin? That is your remittance list. So listahan lang po yan ng mga check na natanggap natin. And then if forward natin ito para ma-deposito sa bangko, we prepare the deposit slip. Usually, meron na tayong copy ng deposit slips doon sa company para hindi na ito gagawin doon mismo sa bangko. Pwede din naman pagdating mo sa bangko kaso magsusulat ka pa. Kung may kopya ka na, pabalik-balik ka lang din naman kasi, di doon mo na ito gawin sa office before you deposit it. Para pagdating doon, paproseso na lang, kukuha ka na lang ng number, your queue. Okay? A document forwarded to the bank for deposit summary, and then pag na process na ito ng bangko, you have your validated deposit slip. Okay? Please check na lang din for the kung ano itsura. Kung napupunta ka madalas sa bangko, familiar na kayo dito sa itsura ng deposit slip. Okay? Ang maipapakita ko sa inyo yung itsura ng remittance advice. Okay? Send to. This is your remittance advice. Please return the upper portion with your payment. Okay, kinapi lang ulit ito dito tapos we have here the invoice details. Now please take note kasi nung pinag-usapan natin yung mga accounting records, ang sabi ni James Hall, yung upper portion is your bill, the lower portion is your remittance advice. Pero dito nasa top portion yung remittance advice, tapos eto makikita ninyo yung bill or the invoice nandito naman sa baba. Anyway, regardless kung nasa taas or nasa baba, it doesn't matter as long as there is the remittance advice portion and then the bill portion. Okay? So maaring nasa taas or nasa baba. Wag na natin pakialaman, wag na natin problemahin nun. Okay? Pero ito po yung itsura ng ating remittance advice. Nakasaad dito, yung petsa, yung customer number, amount paid, and then the check. Usually, ito blanco yan. Kaya nga naka-italize yan. Nung ipinadala, okay, customer number and date lang. Wala pa pong laman yung amount paid and then the check number. Makikita dito yung bill, magkano ba yung utang, Yung check number, yung customer yung maglalagay diyan. Tapos kung fully paid ba, full payment ba, siya din yung maglalagay dito. Tapos kasama nung cheque, ilalagay sa envelope, ipapadala diretso sa mailroom. O kaya naman kung may messenger, so through the messenger ito ipapadala sa seller o kaya naman pipick upin ng seller. Okay? It depends yung practice, depende kung ano yung nagiging arrangement. Additional cash receipts procedures accounting records, we have the cash receipts journal, and then we have the accounts receivable subsidiary ledger, and then the journal voucher. Yung cash receipts journal, this is also a special journal, a record of cash receipts transactions for cash sales, miscellaneous cash receipts, collection and accounts. Yung accounts receivable subsidiary ledger, same document lang po ito doon sa sales order processing at saka sa sales return. Bakit? Kasi ano bang entry natin? Pag may nakolekta tayo, we debit cash, we credit the accounts receivable. Kaya affected din yung accounts receivable subsidiary ledger. And then we have the journal voucher. It is the same document with the sales order processing system. Kasi usually sinasummarize din natin yung mga cash receipts tapos meron tayong journal voucher doon. Okay? Ito itsura ng cash receipts journal for cash collections, Please take note, cash collections, hindi lang cash sales. or hindi lang collection and account. Basta may natanggap na pera. Kaya nga, ito yung petsa, ito yung account, no? Posting reference, check number, ano yung debit, which is definitely your cash, or kaya naman sales discount. O kaya nga, no, dito makikita ninyo, pag may sales returns or sales discount, usually, it depends kung papaano ba. Kasi minsan, yung sales journal, strictly speaking for sales on account lang. No? Pero kung halimbawa, tawag nito, general journal pa yung binabanggit ko. Ito pala ay sales discount. Okay, pardon me on that. I stand corrected, no, kung na-observe din ninyo yon. We are talking here of sales discount kung merong discounts, no. Siyempre, mababawasan yan doon sa amount na ibabayad ni customer. Ito yung ating credit, no, accounts receivable. O kaya naman sales, no, or other accounts, sundry account, it represents other accounts, no, debit or credit. Okay? So yan po yung ating mga transactions for cash receipts. So hanggang dyan muna po tayo sa ating discussion on the accounting records affecting the revenue cycle. O class, please let me know if meron kayong for clarification or medyo hindi naintindihan or medyo malabo yung aking pagkakapaliwanag. Okay? So once again, as an advice, please check online, search sa Google or other available documents that you have para ma-visualize ninyo ano yung ibang mga documents na nabanggit sa revenue cycle pero hindi available sa reference book natin, which is James Hall. Okay? I'll see you next time for the next portion sa mga controls under the revenue cycle. Thank you and bye-bye.